Well then, season 4 of the Youth Academy Challenge. Have we done better than last season? Tune in, find out. Let's see how we've done. So, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to Truro City. This is my save, this isn't Jason's save, this is my version of the Truro City Youth Academy save. As you can see, it's the end of the season, it's 2026-2027 season, and I thought we'd start this time with the end of season review. So if we have a look at the new arrivals, nobody. We didn't sign anyone. We signed no one to our squad whatsoever. Isaac Jones left to Pontadawi, something like that, where he played 30 appearances, scored 3 goals, 3 assists, had a very, very poor average rating. Didn't do very well there. And he was never going to, if we click on him, you can see he was never going to make it. Never going to make it at Truro. So, season results. As you can see, the board expected us to be competitive in the FA Cup. We managed the 4th qualifying round, so we're very happy with that. We beat Hamwell, Kingstonian, and then we lost to Brackley Town. Top scorer for us was Lewis Rooney. Into the English FA Cup, we went out in the 3rd round to Maidenhead. We beat Dulwich, which I believe was on penalties or something. It says 0-0, but I believe we beat them on penalties. We drew with Maidenhead, and then they beat us in the responding game, in the responding fixture. Richie Andrews, a youth player, getting most of the goals. This is a youth player from last season, I want to say. Moments to remember. The biggest win was a 4-1 win against Barnet. That was right at the start of the season. Right at the start of the season, where he's got such an odd name. We're going to have to come up with a name for him. Sithole. Scored in the 10th minute. Lewis Rooney got a hat-trick. Jay Shipley got a penalty for them. Match to remember was the 3-0 win over Merthyr. Again, Thomas Seeger scoring 2 goals and Patrick Carsley. As you can see, no Lewis Rooney scoring in that game. And goal of the season came from Andy Neal in the 71st minute of this game against Hemel Hempstead. And we're going to have a little cheeky look at that. The 71st minute goal by Andy Neal. Here we go. Big ball over top. Evans clears. Riley Lau gets on it. Neal turns and, beautifully into that top corner. Neal, take a bow. And that was our goal of the season. A very nice little goal from Andy Neal. Right, finances wise. We are starting to drop on finances, I will admit. The finances are starting to go down now. As you can see, sponsorship, we've gone up this year. Broadcast revenues come down, but everything else has gone up. Competition prize money, as you can see, has gone up this season. So we may have recorded our best ever finish in the Vanarama South. And also, we had that good run in the FA Cup as well. So, a nice 12,000 extra in prize money this season. We made another 11,000 in match day commercial revenue, which was nice. The most shirts sold. We only sold 103, but the most shirts sold was Rooney, Neal, Anton Brownlee, Bryce, and obviously Philip Murray. Going into how I lined up, we lined up with this formation. We kept swapping Connell Dip between the two places, depending on how I felt. So you can see Ollie Bryce, Connor Riley Lau, Philip Murray, Anton Brownlee, Corby Sherritt, who had a very poor season, but he's still developing. Patrick Carsley and Brad Park, Toshido, Connell Dick, Kevin Stewart, and Stuart Walker. You might be thinking, hang on, where is Lewis Rooney? Well, Lewis Rooney's not really been in the team this season. But we'll get there because he is top goal scorer still. So, fans player of the season is Anton Brownlee. We came runner-up twice. Twice we came runner-up in the Manager of the Month awards. Anton Brownlee got fans player of the season. He also got young player of the season. I am worried that he is not going to be here at the end of this season. Andrew Neal got the goal of the season. Top goal scorer was Rooney. Most assists was Connor. I don't know why I keep calling him Callum, but Connor Riley Lau. Most player of the match awards was Ollie Bryce with 4 player of the match awards. Highest average rating was Anton Brownlee again, 7.1. Most passes completed per 90 minutes, again, was Anton Brownlee. Most clean sheets by a player in a season was Ollie Boyce. We managed 16 clean sheets. 16. Worst discipline was Brad Park. He was constantly getting yellow carded. 18 yellow cards he picked up. Most league appearances by a player was Conor Roy Lau. He managed 353 so far for Truro. Oldest player is Andrew Neil. He is still our oldest player in the record books. And he is also our oldest goal scorer. So all round, good going. Truro flew out the traps and set themselves up well for the season. They say it's important to get off to a good start, but it rings true as ever for Truro this season. And we can look at the timeline and we can see, obviously, from 23 where we're hired, you see all the way through. Pause the video if you want to read any of this. But it's pretty much the same sort of stuff as the pitiful 51 points we developed last season. And as you can see, we still investing in potential. And I hit 200 games in management. Very nice to see. Still no manager awards, still no trophies. And that is that. Right, so let's head to the league table. And you can see exactly where we have gotten to. And we finished in 14th place in the league. 17 wins, 13 draws, 16 losses, 67 goals. I feel like I'm reading the wrong stats here. 14 games won, 18 draws, 14 losses is what I meant. 56 scored, 49 against, 7 goal difference. So we are improving. That means our defence was really good this season. Our attack still a little bit behind these sort of teams. When you say 56 and Dartford's there with 58, and we're not too dissimilar in our goals for and against to Dartford, it just means we lost silly games when we shouldn't have. But as you can see, 60 points. That means we are making progress. We were 4 whole points behind our best points tally in the league. But you can see from that form, we let it go towards the end of the season a little bit. So let's have a look at the schedule so you can see exactly how things went down. So we were playing the 4-2-4 that I said we were going to play. And you saw in the intro. We had a very good pre-season, drawing against Bristol City and also drawing with Guernsey, which was a bit unfortunate. We beat everyone else that we played during that time. Then we had a very, very good opening day win to Barnet. Very good opening day win. They were predicted to finish 3rd in the league this season, and they finished 3rd in the league. So that 4-1 was massive. That was a massive, well-worked win. And then things went off the rails a little bit. Hemel Hempstead, Enfield both smashed us. Hampton and Richmond, we got a draw with Dover, then beat us. We managed to get some points back against Merthyr, and then Dagenham and Redbridge beat us. So as things stand, within the first, 7 games, we'd managed 7 points. So a point a game, it wasn't brilliant, but it was better than what we've started in previous seasons. And then we went on a run. 3-0 against Poole, 0-0 with Dartford, 2-0 over Bath. We obviously beat Hamwell in that FA Cup second qualifying round. We then beat Gosport 3-0. We then beat Kingstonian in the FA Cup 3rd round. Then we hit a draw with Dulwich Hamlet, which was a very good result. I believe they were top at the time of playing them. Brackley then beat us. Obviously, Brackley in the league above. So a 2-1 loss, I'm not going to complain too much about. And then a 2-0 win over Hendon. And then came the game-changing game of the season. This was the season-changing game, this was. A 3-1 loss to Weymouth. And not only was it a 3-1 loss to Weymouth, I think it was this game, one of these games, we lost Lewis Rooney. One of these 2 games, they were season-defining. We lost Lewis Rooney. And we lost him for 3 whole months. And as you can see, his name does not appear here at all. For like this man, look, he's scoring. He scores pretty much every other game, if not every game, and we lost him. And I said last season, after he got 37 goals for us, that if we were to lose him, it would be a massive dent for us. Massive, massive dent for us. And I think if we'd have kept him, we'd have probably been okay. We'd have probably done a lot better than what we actually did. And you know what I mean? I was thinking, oh no, this isn't good. Extra time, Richie Andrews steps up and scores in the FA Trophy second round against Dulwich Hamlet. A very good game. And 0-0 again. Stuart Walker taking place of Lewis Rooney while he is out. In the 2-2 draw against Folkestone, you can see we're scoring, but we're not picking up points. We're just drawing a lot of our games. Beat Western-super-Mare. Stuart Walker finally gets back on the score sheet. We swap into the FA Trophy here, and Richie Andrews scores his 2 goals, and we lose the replay quite badly, in all honesty. Then we lost to Worthing 3-0. Then we lost to Barnet 3-1. And at this point, I started to feel like, oh no, now we're starting to concede goals big time. We are definitely in trouble now. And if you look at these 2 games, you can see everything's changing. I'm trying different players. We finally get a good result against Hemel Hempstead with Richie Andrews and Andrew Neil scoring for both of them. For both of the goals. Enfield then beat us again for the second time this season, and Hampton and Richmond beat us as well. We then drew with Dover, and we started to pick points up again. As you can see, we drew with Dover. We had a very good win against Merthyr, and that sort of tipped things in the scale. You can see our 2 players, Patrick Carsley, Thomas Seeger, they both picked up and said, look, our strikers ain't doing the job. We're going to start doing it from back here, basically. We got a 2-2 with Dagenham and Redbridge. Stuart Walker scoring again. And then Stuart Walker just goes on an absolute spree from here. He scores in the 2-0 over Poole. He scores in the 2-1 over Dartford. And then, obviously, 1-1 with Bath. A 2-1 over Gosport. And then we had to face top of the league, Dulwich Hamlet again. And we lost a 0-1 loss. A 1-0 loss is not a bad result against Dulwich Hamlet, who were obviously top. Stuart Walker then carries on his fine vein of form, scoring in the 2-1 over Hendon. We get smashed again by Weymouth. There's nothing we can do against this team. They seem to beat us every time we play them. We got a 1-1 draw with Maidenhead, a 2-2 draw with Tonbridge, with Stuart Walker scoring yet again. Stuart Walker then scores in the 1-0 win over Farnborough, And then we go back to our old ways of drawing and losing. I decide to bring Lewis Rooney back into the squad. And we get to 0-0 at Welling. We get a 0-1 at Eastbourne. Dorking, we get a 1-1. And Stuart Walker scoring. Kevin Stewart scored in the game against Folkestone. We lost to Western-super-Mare 3-2 with Kevin Stewart and Connell Dick scoring again. And obviously at the very end of the season against Worthing, who were in second place at the time, we got a 2-2 draw. Kevin Stewart and Connell Dick again scoring. So you can see there's quite a range of scorers this season, which last season we didn't have. It was all Lewis Rooney last season. But this season, we have got a wide range of scorers. We've got Stuart Walker, we've got Kevin Stewart, we've got Patrick Carsley a couple of times, Richie Andrews a couple of times, Brad Park steps up every now and then. So we've got a few decent scorers. So if we look at the tactic, this was the tactic I was playing. We've got a wing back on the attack. On this side, we've got a ball-winning midfielder on defend, although I think that should be on support. And we have a central defender, ball-playing defender, wing back, inverted winger, advanced forward, advanced playmaker, shorter passing. We're basically just playing this system, see how it does. You can see it's the 4-2-4. It's a scream, aim, fire. That is what I have named it, scream, aim, fire, because it definitely gets you screaming quite a bit. That's for sure. Some of the goals we've had, this isn't the main team. This is a team that I've been playing for the last couple of games, which is probably why we've had some poor results. Now, there are 2 players in this squad that have made massive, massive improvements, and you can see quite clearly which 2 players they are. That is Mr. Brad Park and Mr. Philip Murray. So, Philip has developed superbly playing in this centre-back role. He is developing really quickly. His coach report now states that he is a Vanarama South player, which is superb. He has the potential to be a Vanarama national team player, which is brilliant as well. So he can be our centre-back for the next couple of seasons. Anton Brownlee, as you can see, is starting to drop in his development. He's now only a regional division player. He's not as good as I originally thought he was going to be. And I am slightly worried that he is still going to leave, though, regardless, at the end of the season, which I hope he doesn't. Brad Park has been playing in the defensive midfield spot because I would rather him play there than play in the defence. He's not quite tall enough when you consider the two players we have got. I think Brownlee's around 6 foot, 6'4" for Brownlee, and I think Philip Murray's about the same, 6'2". They're much taller, so I'd rather have Brad Park playing in the defensive midfield. And he has developed so well. You look at look at this progress from the start of the season. 1.5 star. And then he has just risen. He has really enjoyed his playing time. He is now potentially a Vanarama national standard player. He is a self-league player as it stands. I am very happy with his development. Incredibly happy. Them two are standouts for me this season. So if I build in the original team that has played the entirety of this season, just so we can see what the first team was a little bit more. This is the team that we have been playing. This is the entire team that we have been playing. Exactly how we have been playing them. So we have Rooney, we have Neil, Connell Dick, Toshido, Brad Carsley, Riley Lau, Philip Murray, Anton Branley, Corby Sherritt and Bryce. The team has done incredibly well. Patrick Carsley, I am a little bit disappointed. He has not grown at all this season. He's made very little progress. He's played very similar to how he did last season. I'm very disappointed considering the amount of games he's had. He's had 2,000 minutes, over 2.7 thousand minutes. No development. Very disappointed. Toshido has had a little development. As you can see, he started the season at 1.5, but he's now finishing the season at 2 star. I'm very happy that he has finally managed to put some development on. But obviously, I want to see more. Connell Dick, I don't think he's progressed all that much. He's been very up and down depending on injuries and form and all the rest. But he started the season at 2 star. He is now 3 star and still developing. Andrew Neil, unfortunately, this will be his last season with us. He started the season at 3 star. He's down to 2.5 star. But as you can see, in the position we're playing him, he's only 2 star. And quite honestly, at 33 years age, with his wage of £450 per week, he is not going to be starting no more. So I can now tell you that Kevin Stewart will be taking his place. Kevin Stewart, on the other hand, brand new player. He started the season at 1 star, and you can see where he started. He was starting to decline, and then you can see where he started to get game time, and you can see he is climbing up to a 1.5 star. Moving over to, let's have a look at Lewis Rooney. Lewis Rooney started the season at a 3.5 star. He has dropped in his development, is now a 3 star. Do I believe that that is purely down to his development? No. I think players around him like Brad and Philip have got really good. And as a result, Lewis is looking poorer and poorer as the seasons go on. He is still our main striker though, and will be for the foreseeable future. Callum Riley Lau, again, is another one. He's starting the decline. Although he's pretty much finished in the same position he was last season. I think the players around him have just got better. But he will also be gone. Will he be gone? No, he will be staying for at least one more season. Just while we get Chaz Winder to develop a little bit. And obviously he might never make it. But he is starting the progressive jump. He started at 1 star. He's going to finish at 1 star. But he did get some game time towards the end of the season, as you can see. 13 starts. Corby, I still believe he's going to be a good player. He's a little injury prone. He has a couple of injuries this season. As you can see, one lasting for 3 weeks. The other's a little bit more of knocks. Progress-wise, he has started to increase. He was 1 star and now he's 2 star. So he has developed 1 star in potential. In current ability as the season's progressed. I don't see anyone usurping him at the moment. There's nobody behind him at the moment in the thing. If we have a look at the squad planner, we go to the DR. We've got Sager, who is a centre-back. George Hemmings is a centre-back. And we have Tim McGrath-Colbert, who has been playing as backup to Corby. He may eventually end up taking over the role as he is developing a little bit better overall. But we shall see. In centre-back, obviously, we've got Philip Murray and Where is he? Where's he gone? He seems to have disappeared. I thought, where's Anton Brownlee? So Anton Brownlee and Philip Murray are both the top two. Because obviously Brad Park doesn't play in this position. Then you got Thomas Seager and George Hemmings there. So we got backups on that. On the left-hand side, we have Connor Riley-Lau and Chaz. And you might be seeing this player keep popping up. This little 16-year-old that's one of our most recent youth intake players. I'll get onto him in a minute. Into the defensive midfield, we have Brad Park, Patrick Carsley, Kevin Clarkson, Jake Davis. We also have this little player here, which I'm going to show you in a minute. On the right, we have Toshido, and we have... There's a player missing. He's over here, I think. Where is he? Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson is playing over on this side. He just hasn't fully learnt the role yet. So we have backups on that side. In the midfield, we have Connell Dick and we have Jonathan Roberts, another of the newer youth players, which I will show you shortly. And on the right, we have Ewan and Kevin. Up top, we have Lewis Rooney and Stuart Walker and Richie Andrews. So if we have a look now at these youth players that came through and are now sitting in the team. So obviously Patrick Carsley's form has earned him basically he's not in the team. He's being knocked out of the team. And this is the player that's coming through. Leighton Sneap. Leighton Sneap is one of our latest youth players. He is supposed to be playing on the left, but with his pace of 4, it worries me having him on the left. But he has very good heading, marking, tackling, good teamwork, good positioning, good work rate. He's both-footed. 8 concentration, 16 bravery, 12 anticipation, 14 aggression. This is a really good player for this level. And not only that, he is very strong with the left foot and strong with the right foot. With a level-headed media handling, a balanced personality. This man, when you compare him to the other player that potentially is sitting in his position, which I'm going to have to try and remember now. Kevin Clarkson, when we have a look at the difference. Kevin Clarkson is a 1-star player. He is a 1-star player with a massive potential, same as Leighton. When you look at the deep defensive midfielder on defend, look at where all the attributes line up. So tackling works for Kevin Clarkson. But every other attribute, teamwork not quite, but every other attribute is in Leighton's favour. So unfortunately for Kevin, he has lost his place to Leighton. And Leighton is now playing in his defensive midfield spot. And I thoroughly look forward to seeing how this lad develops, because I think he's going to be a quality player. As you can see, he's only just come in. There was also the other player that I was talking about. He's in the under-18s, the attacking midfielder that may make it up to the first team. So this player will be coming into the first team next season to play some games. He has some very good attributes in some very nice places. Decisions could do with coming up, but overall, I quite like his attributes. I like where they are. I like the fact he's very strong with the right foot and reasonable with the left foot. He's got a decent height to him. I think he'll be a very good player for us. In terms of our under-18s, our under-21s, we'll start there. We look at the squad. You can see there's only really Joshua Brown and Stephen Cowie that may eventually make it. Stephen Cowie probably won't because of his low current rating. But Joshua Brown is developing relatively well. As you can see, he's not developing brilliantly, but he's developing relatively well. He will probably make it into the first team if Anton goes. Won't be playing, of course. Thomas Seager will take the role of Anton Brownlee, provided Brownlee doesn't sign a contract, which at the moment he is still not interested in signing. So Joshua Brown will be coming into the first team most likely next season. In terms of the under-18s, the players that we're not necessarily looking at the moment, Ollie Freer is a 2-star player. He is still not as good as Hassan. He is still not as good as Ollie Broyce. He has come through in the current crop of youth players. And again, we are having some really good goalkeepers come through. So I may have to send one of these goalkeepers out on loan eventually. We have Danny Roberts, who also looks very good as a right centre back, 6'4". Some nice positioning, work rate, teamwork, leadership, all stuff in the nice places. Technically, he's not very good, and physically, he's not very good. But mentally, he knows what he's doing. We're looking at some of the other players. Stuart Ellis is probably never going to make it now. Now I'm looking at his attributes, and we're just going off of what we could see. I don't know why that's coming up there. We're not signing any of these guys. I don't think they're going to make it. I'm only looking for the creme de la creme at the moment. Now that we've got a main bulk of the team together, I'm only looking for the creme de la creme. Sam Meacham probably won't make it no more. Lewis Reese may make it, but it's unlikely. William Morrison Watts probably won't make it now. Laughlin probably won't make it. Evans may still make it and may still make his way into the first team. We are training him with that right foot to play on the other side, so there is potential for him to move into a space should one of the other players leave. Casey Spetch may also make it. He's been trained to play into the attacking midfield position. He can do a job. He will come in if somebody leaves in that area. Jonathan Roberts, we've already spoken about. Herbie Twine will definitely never make it. Burak, I've looked at him over and over, and I like this high potential, but I don't see where I can play him. He's just naff all over. He's got attributes in the wrong sort of areas. He's just naff in general, so he probably won't make it. Hugh Wood probably won't make it. Charlton Doe probably won't make it. Graham Newton, who's one of the newer lads that's come in, he may make it. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get there, though. But with that strong left foot, he may be playing on this side and will also be training on that side. So potentially could make it his way in. Wilson potentially could have a really good career with us. He is going to be trying to play up top. I want to see what he can do because we have so many on the wings, so many on the wings that I just going to put him up top because I don't really know where else to put him. Jerry Langdown, he probably won't make it. Daniel Park is a player that I keep trying to sign, and he will now finally sign with us. So originally he didn't want to sign. There was an issue or something or other that he didn't want to sign with us, but he now will sign. He is a right-footed player that can play on the left and on the right. He can play up top as well. 5'8", though, he will probably play on the left, but he does have some work to do on before he can make it to the first team. So that is basically the squad and the team. If we go through the under-21s very quickly, Kaelin's probably never going to make it. Neither is Ben. Neither is Matt. Lee may make it. Joshua probably will. Jarvis will definitely not make it. Danny Reeve will not make it. Casey will not make it. Ali will not make it now. Based on the fact of what we've got coming through the youth setup. Ruben Jeffries probably won't make it. Stephen Cowie probably won't make it, even though he's got that big potential. Ali Afra probably won't make it. He's dropping down in his potential every day. Xavier definitely will not make it. Neither will Shane. And John North may still make it at this moment. He needs some more time. But they've got him playing as a DM and he should be playing up there. So there is issues around the place in terms of the youth squad. Finances-wise, we are on 146,000. We are overspending at the moment, but like I said, we do have a load of players going out. And speaking of players going out, I haven't told you the two. I don't think I've told you the two big ones. Yes, I have. I've told you about Andy Neal. Andrew Neal will be going at the end of this season. So will Dan Sullivan. Dan Sullivan is leaving after several years at Truro, where, to be honest, he did really well for us. That first season, he got 24 goals. He got 15 last season, 7 this season. 7 last season, and he's only made 8 appearances this season. The man is leaving. He's on a £450 per week contract. We need to get it down, so he will be leaving. And we have a lot of other players that are leaving as well. If we go into the squad view, the ones that are expiring, you can see we have a couple expiring here. Anton's expiring. Andrew and Dan are definitely going. Anton, we're still hoping to sign back, but it's looking unlikely as things stand. We go into the under-21s and we do the same thing. We go to contract 27. You can see, look, all these players that are 2027, they are leaving. None of them are likely to make it, including Stephen Cowie, who is going, because I do not believe he's going to make it no more. The ones that are staying, Lee Webster, John North, Ali Afra, and Joshua Brown. I think I'm keeping Ali just for the sake of an attacking midfielder, but honestly, I think he'll go next season. In terms of the under-18s, those that are leaving, all these that are on youth contracts, they will be going. Apart from Daniel Parker, we've just made a bid for. You can see that I'm letting go of Herbie, and I am letting go of William. I don't believe either of them two are going to make it. The rest of them, I'm going to give more time to develop, and we'll see how they get on. We're going to lower the wage bill again, and we're going to reduce the amount of youth players we've got. Now we've got a good base of youth players. I think it's now time to, right, let's look at the creme de la creme of the ones we've got, the ones that are developing, the ones that are doing well, that are still holding that high potential, despite the fact that we've got players hitting the 4.5, 5-star sort of region now, like Brad Park and Philip Murray. You know what I mean? So let's get rid of the ones that aren't going to hit that level. Let's keep the ones that are. If their current ability is really low, like Cowie's is, then we're just gonna go. You know what? It's gonna take you too long to get to a position where we can use you. We're gonna let you go. Stuart Walker, the man that deputised when Lewis Rooney was out injured, has had a very good opening season. He has played 37 times, 20 of those were starts, 17 from the bench, and he has got an XG of 6.83, scoring 9 goals, so he's outscoring his XG. Very, very, very happy with Stuart Walker and how he came into the team when basically we had no striker. The other man in place of this is Richie Andrews, who is here, who is apparently a winger, but I'm playing him up front as well. He will eventually be Stuart Walker's backup. When Lewis Rooney leaves, Stuart Walker will take Lewis Rooney's place. Richie Andrews is the man to take over from that position. He has played 10 times this season, 6 starts, 4 from the bench. He has an XG of 1.2 and he has scored 2 goals in the Vanarama South this season. A 6.61 rating is not the best, but the poor lad is only 16 and, 17 now when he came into the squad. Ihor is likely to disappear at some point. I'm still not... He's going down to the under-21s next season. But, yeah, there's a little bit of a shift around and a little bit of a rebuild on the squad using the youth players we've got. We're going to let go of some of the older players now. Patrick Carsley is very likely to leave next season when his contract expires because he's not developing, and we've got the likes of Kevin Clarkson and also Leighton Sneap coming through. Jake Davis, again, is one of these that I'm trying to give him the chance. He's had 11 appearances this season, 6.53. He hasn't played overly well. So he may eventually drop down as well. So there's going to be a little bit of a rebuild, and next season it's going to be a relatively similar, but probably by the end of the season, you're going to see different players here. I would not expect to see Connor Riley-Lau here no more. Lewis Rooney may have dropped out of his position by then as well. Patrick Carsley would definitely have gone. So Anton may still go at the moment. So there may be a player coming in place of Anton. So there is potentially a lot of changes happening around the squad, and hopefully we can carry on the progression and do even better next season. 14th is our best position. 60 points is not our best points tally, though. So I reckon we can do something next season. But if you have enjoyed today's episode, then please drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment below. Let me know how you are enjoying things. And if you want to see what's happening around the world in the game save at the end of next season, what I might do is I might do a Season 5 video next Sunday. And I'll do a recap of the leagues within the world sometime the following week. Because as you can see, I've got loads of different worlds loaded up. I've got Argentina, Brazil, Denmark, France, Germany, Holland. I've got loads of leagues built up. So we can have a look around and see what's actually going on within the world. But please, obviously, do what I said. Drop the like, drop the subscribe, comment if you haven't already. And I will see you tomorrow for another video. I hope you have a great rest of your day.